Welcome to Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs.
And good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Tax Insight here on 1240 Radio WOMT 107.9 FM, and of course, online streaming anytime, WMTradio.com. We're talking with Jeff once again from Hawkins Ash. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Terry.
It's been a while since you and I have been doing this show. Couple weeks.
It's been a couple weeks. Yes, it has.
Yeah. Glad to have you back, my friend. Today we're talking about employee retention credit and, of course, the PPP.
Right. Because, one of the things that I hear quite a bit is, what do tax accountants actually do in the summer? Well, you'd be surprised how busy we actually are. There's a lot of projects for clients that need to be done. And then there's always tax changes. And this summer, we're doing a lot of work with that employee retention credit.
Yeah. So I remember us talking about this, but it's been a while. So let's do a little refresh our memories. What is the employee retention credit?
Yeah. So it's a credit that's intended on keeping people employed through this pandemic. But unlike a deduction, this is actually a dollar for dollar tax credit, which can offset some of the business's payroll expenses.
So when did this credit actually start?
Yeah, so it started back in March of 2020. It was supposed to end at the end of 2020, but it keeps getting extended. So, when the pandemic started in March of 20, they set it up, and now it's been extended all the way through December 31st of this year.
So is there a maximum amount of the credit?
There is. So if you're looking at the 2020 year, the credit is based off of 50% of the qualifying wages up to $10,000. So the maximum credit that you can get per employee is $5,000. And in 2021, they even made it better because they took that same credit and they made it 70% of qualifying wages up to $10,000. So the maximum credit that you can get in 2021 is actually bumped up to $7,000. But not only $7,000 for the whole year, it's $7,000 per quarter. So if a business qualifies for the first and second quarter, they could get a credit of $14,000 per employee or $28,000 per employee if they qualify for the whole 2021 year.
That is amazing. How does an employer actually qualify for this?
They really have to meet just one of two tests, or they have to meet two tests. The first one is, their operations had to be fully or partially suspended due to a government order. If they had that happen, they would qualify for this credit.
Okay.
Or the second way to do it is in 2020, if their gross receipts went down by 50% or more compared to the same quarter of 2019, or in 2021, their gross receipts went down by 20% over the same quarter in 2019, then they qualify.
So is this quarter by quarter calculation?
It is. So you can qualify in one quarter and not the next.
Gotcha. Okay. What about, how does the PPP factor into this calculation?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Because, the businesses cannot use the same payroll expense for both the employee retention credit and the PPP. And that's what makes this calculation, complex. And that's what we're spending our summer doing, is we're trying to do the math to maximize that credit to be able to get full PPP forgiveness and be able to have wages that are left over to do the ERC credit and get the best of both worlds.
Jeff, time is running up here on the show, but anything else that we should know about before we end today's program?
There is. So as businesses get to the end of their PPP, the second draw, that 24-week period, we're cautioning them not to do the PPP loan forgiveness application right away. You might want to hold off on that just a little bit, because there's one thing that we learned from the first round of PPP is that even though you can justify forgiveness with payroll alone, you may not want to do it. By taking some of the other expenses for PPP, rent and things like that, that may allow for more wages to be left to be used for ERC purposes, once again, maximizing that total picture. And that's what we're spending our summer doing.
Yeah, Jeff, great information. I guess, the biggest thing is you need to surround yourself with some experts like you guys at Hawkins Ash. How is the best way of connecting with you guys?
I would go to our website, which is hawkinsashcpas.com, or go to our Facebook page or Twitter.
Awesome, Jeff. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you next week here on WOMT.
This has been Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs. Learn more online at hawkinsashcpas.com. Hawkins Ash CPAs, part of your business, part of your life.